My name is Corinne Pierog, and I am a Democrat, and I am a candidate for Kane County Board Chairman.
What does the Kane County Board Chairman do?
Well, the Kane County Board Chairman, good question, manages the members of the Kane County Board, and that it's the chief job. And that board consists of 24 members representing areas throughout Kane County, 24 separate districts. It's a combination of Democrats and Republicans who sit on the board, and I would be leading discussions, developing policy, and the other very important, probably the primary purpose of the chair is to managing the budget, to make sure that the budget is well set and well stewarded for all of the departments, the separate departments, whether or not they are appointed as a bureaucratic position, or they are elected, as would be the state's attorney. And then the state's attorney sets their budget internally, and if they need additional funding or any questions regarding the full board, establishing policy, different expenses, then it goes to the chair and goes down to the board for their decision and transfers back. So that's the main purpose of the board chairman.
And what's your vision? What do you plan to do as the board chair?
That's a very good question. That's an exceptionally good question. One of the things that you take a look at under prior administration is knowing that the board does not work collaboratively right now. They don't trust the county board chairman. And I need to, once elected, to be able to regain that trust. It will take a little bit of time because they have been ignored, they have been yelled at, they have not been treated in the appropriate manner that would deem respect to the stewardship of the role that they provide in managing the county. And that is something that I definitely want to change. The second thing is with that collaboration is also to take a look at the budget. Now, we know that, as I mentioned, the budget is an incredible, integral part of that job responsibility. But the thing that differs me from my opponent is that I'm going to be managing the budget in light of the county's needs. It's family needs, it's children's needs, it's senior needs, the human needs of Kane County. I'm not going to be taking a look at the budget as a budget line. If services are needed to be provided, what does it cost, and how can we possibly provide for them in a reasonable manner so that services are no longer cut, but stabilized and hopefully being able to grow? So that to me is probably the paramount responsibility that I'm going to have, and it's an important responsibility.
Now, the fact that you're mentioning that the people of Kane County are the kind of the important thing here, it reminds me that you have been in an elected office before.
That's correct. That's correct.
I
I was 8 years on the St. Charles School Board, and through that time, it was a wonderful experience working with the children and with the teachers and the taxpayers. I was, interesting story, I was the only Democrat sitting on the school board. And it is truly a nonpartisan board, but when I was elected, and we were talking once again about taxes, raising property taxes, and property taxes take up anywhere from 50 to almost 70% of property taxes that we pay go to the school district. So when the hand was raised one more time that said, let's raise our property taxes directly after the last recession, I was the lone no vote. And everyone looked at me as the only Democrat and pointed me out as a Democrat is voting no to raise taxes. And I said, absolutely yes. And I defined that the reason why got much pushback from the administration as well as from other board members. But I stood my ground. And slowly but surely, within the period of a few weeks, I was able to convince everybody, bring a team back on, and the budget was not raised. It was stabilized, and the teachers' contract negotiations came up. The teachers' contracts was rewarded and renewed in a collaborative manner, and we moved forward. Until last year, and this was now over a period of 9 years, St. Charles School District had the lowest tax rate in entire Kane County, something that I stand very proud upon. So being a fiscal conservative, if I could say, and my background was working with not-for-profit organizations, managing budgets, and also a long time being a single parent, I know the value of a dollar. I know how hard it is to earn a dollar, and I want to make sure that that dollar is well spent, that it is not wasted, but that each dollar that our taxpayers pay us is going to provide full value for the needs of their families, of their communities.
We've covered a lot of ground. Anything you'd like to add?
Couple of things. We know now that we're in a crisis situation with COVID-19, and one of the most underfunded departments that we have in Kane County is our health department. The health department several years ago had 166 employees, and now it's down to about 66. These are 66 employees to service over 500,000 people. These do COVID testing. They answer the phones for supports for mass PCPs. They advise our health, our not-for-profit organizations on what they need to do to make sure that they have safe work environments and being able to service communities. They reach out to homeless shelters to provide resources to them. They also check our restaurants to make sure that they're serving our food safely. Lately, they've even been going into our factories to make sure that they're equitable and safe working conditions. They are under such great duress that I think right now, incredibly important part of this is making sure that our health department is going to be fully funded in a gradual, sustainable manner to better serve the needs of Kane County. Having COVID-19 continue to be on the rise here in Kane County really is going to take a full-blown effort, and it's going to pass the November election. So that to me is going to be on a high end of needs that we need to have. I've got two other things that I would like to just quickly address on my platform. Is in order to really manage the county, which is a very large county, I'd like to change on how the leadership is directed. I would like the chair to be a policy-making decision, to make that level, to define long-term sustainable policies for the board, and have a county manager right now, which we don't have, implement those policies to take care of the day-to-day operations. So as a true board chair, I can take a look at long-term needs, be able to work with the community, be able to work with our mayors and our village administrators to make sure that their needs are met, which they are not being even heard at this point. The other thing is I want to take a look at our environment. As we move to an expansion of Kane County, as the population continues to increase and people are looking for very safer areas to raise their families, less populated areas, they're going to be looking to Kane, and they're going to be looking to a western expansion. Right now, water situation, water stability in western Kane County is tenuous at best. The wells are drying up, and it is forecasted by the 2040 plan that there's going to be a large percentage of the shallow wells in western Kane will be dry. It can be an environmental crisis that is happening. And I want to address that crisis immediately with the task force that's going to start taking a look at solutions so that western Kane County can have ample water. And these are towns like Sugar Grove, Montgomery, Elburn. These communities are all experiencing growth, and to do so they need a replenishable water supply that'll last many, many years to come. So there are many issues that have to be addressed here in Kane County. Equity, to make sure that we have full representation on the leadership, as well as through our business environment, that there are diverse populations represented within the community. And this is something that I celebrate and I honor and I hope to achieve as your next county board chair. So my name is Corinne Pierog. I'm a Democrat, and I am proudly running for Kane County Board Chairman.
And tell me, do you have a website or somewhere people can get more information?
Oh, thank you. Absolutely. It's electcorinepierog.com.